Morning. Today is Tuesday, January 20th, 2015. The person that flipped their car over on the 10, blocking 5 of the 6 lanes, apologizes for our late start. It wasn't me. Anyway, today's Tuesday, January 20th. This is a regular meeting of the Los Angeles Board of Police Commissioners. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Good morning. Let the record reflect Commissioners Sobroff, Figueroa Villa, and Kim are present, and we have a quorum. Number 1 on the agenda, Commission comments.
Commissioner?
Yeah, I'm really excited about looking at the State of the Union tonight. Captain, soon-to-be Commander Tingarides and Sergeant Tingarides have been invited as guests of our Michelle Obama to front row seats to State of the Union. I know their honor, they were the ones invited, but it really is a reflection of the work that LAPD does as a whole. So I wanted to congratulate, the chief, and I know you'll say something also, and congratulate all of the LAPD officers. It is a reflection of the work that we do here in this organization.
Thank you.
Well, I just want to echo. I want to echo my co-commissioner's comments. It's a really important achievement for the department, as well as the captain and the sergeant, and I think it demonstrates that LAPD has made significant strides in their interaction with the community, particularly in that South LA area, and it has been now recognized by the President and the First Lady. It's a great thing. Thanks.
Good. And on that, I just have 2 other groups of people or people that I think deserve a shout out today, and that is everyone that participated in a wonderful Martin Luther King holiday yesterday. There were goings-on all over Los Angeles, and they were terrific. The other one that I think deserves a shout out is Pete Carroll, because I don't know how he pulled that one off. Those are the end of my comments.
Okay, we do have 1 public comment. We have Mr. Chet Hayes.
Morning, Mr. Hayes.
Morning, sir. I'm surprised no one mentioned our rollout on the cameras, video cameras. They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, let's talk about millions. $10 million, and we never saw one solitary picture. That sounds like a hoodwinking to me. How could you buy something sight unseen? Never saw one image on the camera. Not one. Now, I mentioned that at the meeting, that we should at least have an idea what the image looks like. No, you had 2 days. The second day, we could have provided an image, but no, that never happened. So we spent $10 million, have no idea what the product looks like. That's kind of dumb, don't you think? Now, I wonder whether that idea not to expose the images to the public was a part of your collective mind, or there's only one villain sitting on a commission. But, of course, we should have seen it. We should know. What it is, a way to squander money. I pointed out that all the officer has to do is turn his body, and that's the same thing as turning the camera off. So, switches don't matter. We were concerned not about the stop sign that Officer Gomez mentioned. Somebody at a stop sign quarreling with an officer about whether they ran the stop sign or not. We're concerned about something more substantial, life and death situations. And these cameras will not necessarily do that. Not in examples we've had, okay? If a man is being strangled, chokehold, you can't see the image because the camera is buried in the back of the suspect. You can't hear him say, I can't breathe because the microphone.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes.
Also.
Okay, thank you. Item number 2 on the agenda, the report of the Chief of Police, Chief Moore.
Good morning, members of the Commissioners, Secretary General. I'm here today on behalf of Chief Charlie Beck. He is in, but he's at another community meeting as part of our continued outreach efforts. but I'm happy to report on his behalf. As for significant events, as has been identified, yesterday's celebrations across Los Angeles with all of our various communities in celebration of Martin Luther King and everything that he stood for. The department was proud to be a participant. Chief Beck and other members of the organization participated in the MLK parade in South Los Angeles. Also, as kind remarks by the commissioners, we echo, we're proud of Captain Phil Tangarides, soon-to-be commander, and as well as his wife, Amanda Tangarides, representing really not just the efforts in Southeast and not just the efforts of the Community Safety Partnership, but really the efforts of the Los Angeles Police Department in building and improving our trust and our partnerships with each of their communities of Los Angeles. This partnership with the Community Safety Partnership Program, CSP, which was established in 2011, is yet the latest chapter of our initiatives of working with all the stakeholders in communities to give officers and our communities time to work with each other to identify common themes, common goals, common initiatives, common values that really allow for community policing to accelerate and to be successful. This effort here, we're very proud of because it's not one of going out and taking enforcement action or making arrests that is a defining nature of a success, but rather it's one that success is built on the trust and the partnerships that really just flow from this program. So we're very proud. It is, in my career, the first time the department has had an opportunity to sit and be represented during the President's State of the Union address with First Lady Michelle Obama, and we couldn't be prouder of it. As to moving on to our crime statistics, in starting this year, we are having some headwinds in regards to our violent crime. We've seen an increase of just under 26%. That's 195 additional crimes. This is early in the year. These numbers are important in the sense that each of these 195 additional people are victims, but we're also we're paying close attention to it and ensuring that our resources are deployed and our efforts are engaged in impacting this increase in violent crime. Our property crime is a different story. That property crime is down this year. To date, it's down just under 2%. That's 63 fewer property crimes, but overall, that leaves us with an increase of a Part 1 crime of 2.9%. In looking at our other aspects of our crime, our gang crime continues to trend downward. We're down just over 5% year to date. In looking at our traffics, we've had a good start of this year. In looking at our death and serious injury collisions, we're down significantly year to date, 13 versus 34 last year. In our hit and runs with our serious injuries and death, we've had 2 this year. That is even with what we had last year. However, we are seeing better success in our motor vehicles versus pedestrians as well as our bicyclists. In our motor vehicle versus pedestrians overall, we've had a decrease of 40% with only 43 collisions versus 72. In the nature of those collisions, there has been 6 individuals who had either a serious injury or was hospitalized or lost their life. And while that's a reduction from last year, 6 of those total injuries or death this year versus 10 last year, it still reminds us all of the importance of watching out for our pedestrians and pedestrians watching out for the motorists and ensuring each other's safeties. And moving over to our personnel statistics, we have 9,884 sworn personnel on payroll. Our civilian staffing is 2,716 with a vacancy level of 561 civilian vacancies. And our reserve officer numbers are 398 total reserves and additional 372 specialist volunteers. And then our chaplain corps is 63 individuals, and our cadets are numbering at 5,974. And, Mr. President, that concludes my report.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we do have one public comment card. We have Ted Hayes.
I'd like to mention the fact that Chief Beck marched the entire route of the Kingdom Day Parade, side by side with the Highway Patrol Chief. That brings up an interesting point. Homeless people, being beaten on the freeway, being Margaret Mitchell, being anyone, are getting a special shake now. Nobody tampers with homeless people, not the LAPD. The largest, most spectacular church in the black community is West Los Angeles Church. Its alley has a homeless lady who's been there for quite some time. She has 2 sofas. I don't have 2 sofas. I'm not homeless. And all kinds of array of things. You know what they collect. It's a mental disorder. And the police will not do anything, sanitation will not do anything, and the courts will not do anything. Understand that the judges have given homeless people a right to be homeless and keep their property, whatever it may be. Nevertheless, we still have laws about how much you can collect and place into an alley. So I'm going to find out whether or not the department has any responsibility to remove the clutter, together with sanitation, from the alley behind that church. Because that's become a mission of mine, because the church says we can do nothing, we get no assistance from sanitation, from our council person, or from the police. Now, if that's the case, it should be reported in the press. Why do we report it in the press? Now, the other thing is, on the status situation with crime, when are we going to hear about decriminalizing certain things in order to decrease the crime information? Certain things are no longer crimes. Certain crimes have become misdemeanors or even an infraction. When can we hear about that from the Commission?
Thank you. Item number 3 on the agenda, the report of the Executive Director, Mr. Tifeng.
Good morning, Mr. President. Commissioners, just one brief item. A reminder, the next Police Commission community meeting will be on Tuesday, February 3rd from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Sandra Cisneros Learning Academy, 1018 Mohawk Street in Los Angeles. Will be hosted by Councilmember Mitch O'Farrell. And that will replace the regular commission meeting of February 3rd. There will be no 9:30 commission meeting on February 3rd. And that concludes my comments.
Thank you.
Item number 4 on the agenda, the report of the Inspector General, Mr. Bustamante.
Thank you, Commissioners. I have nothing to report today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 5 consists of information items and filed items relative to noise variances and special event permits submitted for the period ending January 16, 2015. Item number 6, presentations. Do we have any presentations this
None
morning?
today.
Thank you. Item number 7 is consent agenda items. These items are considered to be routine and non-controversial, upon which the board is provided with adequate information for approval without inquiry or discussion. Would a commissioner wish to pull an item as special for discussion?
No, we'll move approval.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, we're now on item number 8, regular agenda items. Would a commissioner wish to put an item as special for a discussion? Item 8E is verbal, so it would be 8A through 8D.
No, I move to approve items 8A through 8D.
Do we have a second? I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
Oh, second, sorry.
We need you to vote up approval too. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, we will begin with item 8E, verbal presentation and update from the commanding officer and Community Police Advisory Board representative regarding community-initiated problem-solving, crime strategies, and other programs and goals within the West Valley area.
Wow. Looks like the NFL West Trophy. Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you very much for having us here today. It's a great opportunity for me as the commanding officer of West Valley area to appear in front of the Board of Police Commissioners and talk about what the West Valley CPAB accomplished during 2014. And I think Chief Moore in his remarks actually focused on something that's been extremely important to the CPAB process, and that's the community and the police coming together around common goals and common values. And this year, the West Valley CPAB was fortunate enough to be honored with the first Area Impact Award. And this was presented at the CPAB Summit at the end of last year. And it's something that I think the community has every right to be extremely proud of. And I think that our CPAB has set the bar very, very high. We currently have 56 members in our CPAB. And our normal CPAB meetings, we have anywhere from 35 to 40 representatives from throughout the community attending.
How's the diversity in your in the CPAB?
It basically reflects the entire community. We have people from all walks of life. We have people from every neighborhood. We have people from every neighborhood council. We have representatives from the local high schools. We have students and administrators from the schools. So we have a very, very good cross-section, but we are constantly focusing on reaching out and bringing in new members. The interesting thing about 2014, which Nani will talk about, is that we really focused on trying to get the CPAB involved and motivated to focus on critical issues that they've identified as their common concerns. And it's been a very, very solid team-building exercise. We had a handout that we presented to you that has a few items there that Nani will be talking about, but I would like to actually turn the microphone over to her because she's the reason why we're here.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Nani Shaked. I'm the alternate co-chair at West Valley. CPAB, the presentation is also on behalf of the co-chair, Maury Leaf, who has not been able to attend today. For us, 2014 has been a transition year. Transition in the way we look at no longer just doing projects, but having a purpose for the project, a long-term purpose that falls under unity and partnership within the community. Under unity, we look at improvement of non-emergency interaction between the community and the police of the community, with the thought that by bringing a stronger collaboration on the non-emergency contact, we can improve the long-term relationship when it gets to emergency contact between the police and the community, or when events occur in the community. So some examples of 2014 Unity projects that are really dealing with the environment that we are working in. The first thing that we were giving is a challenge by Captain Egan of the front desk. The front desk challenge was improve the process, improve the experience that civilians go through, that community members go through on the community. And the first priority on the challenge was there is a lot of traffic at the front lobby that can be avoided. Save people time and give them answers ahead of time. To do that, we use a cutting-edge technology to implement knowledge sharing, kind of a call center technology that allows anyone to access the information online and through keyword searches be able to immediately get matching to the topic based on the question being asked. And at the end of the question, if the answers are not there, be able to submit the question to officers in the community relationship office at that point takes ownership of the question and work with the community members until the question is answered. So
the customer, the citizen of Los Angeles, you're giving an opportunity to do what they normally would have to be there in person to do it electronically and get the same service level back.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Either be in person or usually a call to the front desk.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, there's a wait involved. There's a lot of questions related to dog noise, information about concealed weapon, information about vehicle violation, how to handle them. We have about 125 questions available online.
Wow.
That have been vetted by the officers. All the questions came in from actually staff officers at the station, where every officer was asked to submit the top 5 questions that they repeatedly get every day. Using that, the Community Relations Office, along with volunteers, build the knowledge base to allow for this tool to provide. Our next goal for 2014 for the tool is to upload a set of questions specifically related to traffic. There are a lot of repeated traffic questions, what to do at stop sign, who has the right of way, bicycles versus cars, and so forth. So that's our, 2015 goal, is to upload about 60 frequently asked questions related to traffic. The next step on the front desk was to start adopting a program that is civil ambassadors at the front desk. These are volunteers that that are being trained to be able to handle questions at the front desk. Our pilot program has been completed as of December, and starting in 2015, we're going to turn what we have learned in 2014 into a manual that we are hoping that will give us the ability to continuously, but on a monthly basis, bring in volunteer ambassadors into the front desk and allow them to all get the same training, allow all of them to have the same consistent approach to a community member, consistent behavior, and by utilizing the online technology that we have, we also ensure that the answers are consistent between the volunteers. And the volunteers have a pool of information that is available to allow people to leave the front desk as fast as possible, and giving the captains the assurance that the answers are correct answers and consistent verbiage used between the answers.
And this is definitely a positive for both the officers and the community. And this is something that we've been working on out in Operations Valley Bureau, across the Bureau. And we're very close to actually developing our training manual, which I think is going to take it to the next level in 2015.
And how about making it available citywide to other CPABs, best practices? I mean, it sounds like you're leading the pack here.
Well, Nani's actually involved quite extensively working with the Office of Operations and different planning groups. And she meets, the co-chairs meet on a regular basis in the Valley as well as citywide. We're hoping that we can vet this and get this to where it's acceptable, and then it can be replicated across the city. But there's a lot of a sharing of ideas that occurs in the CPAB co-chair meetings.
The other area the challenge that we took on this year is the social media arena. That's our biggest tool to educate and inform anyone in the community, in the media. In that area, we have our website is showing about 11,000 visitors since the launch. Facebook, we doubled our presence to about 4,000. Twitter, we went from almost non-existing to 4,000.
I follow you.
And also on Instagram, we went from non-existent to 1,500 followers. Another initiative that we took in 2014 is, again, in the spirit of making us available to the community, is live streaming all the major events at the station, such as community events, live streaming broadcast of key meetings at the station. Also making available videos, short crime tip videos, safety tips, updates from the senior lead officers directly to the community. So those are like short 3 to 5 minute videos. They're available online. Trying to find we know that everyone is busy. Trying to give them the same information on their own time, when they're at the doctor's office or when they have a couple of minutes on the lunch break, to have the opportunity to get direct tips from the senior lead officers.
And that's available on our community-based website, westvalleypolice.org. All of the videos and crime-fighting strategies, access to Ask Officer Joe, they're all part of this community effort to get the word out. And I strongly encourage you to take a look at it. There's a parody of Dragnet on there. There are several others involving Don't Drink and Drive for St. Patrick's Day. And it's all done with the officers, developing the skill set, and also with some private partners as well.
The second half of our focus in the transition in 2014 is a partnership. Building a strong long-term partnership through projects that are executed both by the officers and the community. We've discovered that by bringing the officers into the project, by bringing the council member and their reps into our projects, it's not just that we did a cleanup, it's not just that we took care of a graffiti in an area, it is we made contacts, we introduced officers to the businesses in the area, the businesses saw the officers being involved. Some of the examples, the project called Claim Back the Sidewalk, this is where we ask each member of the community, business owners, owners of that live in the community, to take ownership of the 3 feet in front of their business, in front of their house. Take ownership by reporting trash, graffiti, and what you see. By doing that, we partnered with in addition to the community, we partnered on this project with about 20 organizations in the community, including the council offices in the area. Some of the partners include high school, churches, the neighborhood councils in the area. We completed about 12 projects, totaling 2,700 hours of volunteer hours in the community, not counting officer hours. Another example of partnership that we did this year is for the purpose of educating the community, is a partnership with Krav Maga community and a production company under a project called Think and Live. The purpose of the project is to educate as many people as possible on how to use common sense to survive, how to avoid getting in trouble. For example, if you're going for a run, don't run by yourself in the evening in a secluded area. If you are running, at least don't use the headset, be aware of your surroundings. And also with tips how to handle certain situations that you may get into, which the Krav Maga community really helped us. They're also helping us promote the information and push it out. Another project that was completed this year is Officer Appreciation Day. There are about 20 businesses and the council office got together to thank the officers what they've done for us in the past year. It's hard to measure a project like this, but since there was food involved, then I guess the only way to measure it is through quantities. On that day, we served 525 plates of food to the officers. I don't think that we have 525 officers at the station.
I got to admit, I ate twice.
Yeah, if the food's good, you'll have a lot of officers.
Yeah, we
all of a
served
sudden.
about 210 pounds of tri-tip chicken
geez.
and
When
salmon.
was this?
Oh, you just missed it.
I didn't get that.
They also had the food trucks there and community organizations supporting it. So the food was fantastic, and the officers had a really good time. And again, it's the opportunity for the officers and the community members to break bread together and get to know each other in a non-confrontational kind of a way, and for the officers to actually feel the appreciation that the community shows. And our CPAB is, like all CPABs throughout the city, is totally committed to supporting the officers.
Next year, you can invite any 2 commissioners and not have a Brown Act violation. I just want to let you know.
As long as you don't talk, we'll be fine, right?
Just saying. Yeah. Okay.
Next project that
Can
we're
I ask
very
a
proud
question?
of.
Yeah,
I
go,
just
Sandy.
have a quick question. How do you get the police to come? You know, they're busy. Free lunch. I don't know. How do you get them to come and to really interact with the community?
Well, the way we get them to come is we actually do it in the community room at the station. So we make it as easy as possible. And I think that the officers realize, West Valley is one of those very interesting places where we enjoy, as most commands do, but a tremendous amount of community support. And when you put out some really, really good food, the cops love to get together and talk about it, and they interact not only with each other, but also with the community members. And the community members make it a point to sit and talk with the officers, as well as serving them the food and expressing their gratitude. And you can see there's some photos there. There are some banners that were put together by local students and other community groups. So it creates a real sense of fellowship in the station, and it's an extremely positive event, and the officers can't wait for the next one.
I asked for another reason, but that's good. Thank you.
Another project, this one is we're very proud of. It took us, this project started before 2014. It's probably been in the making for 4 or 5 plus years. This is the Officer James Bea Memorial Walk at Krebs. Officer Bea was killed in the line of duty in June 5, 1988. And this year, took about 5 years of hard work from the community that includes the neighborhood council, the council in the area, the 150 neighbors around the Krebs where the Memorial Walk is, and a few other organizations to come together. And December, I think it was either November or December this year, LA City Council voted and approved the Memorial Walk. And the dedication is scheduled for the first half of 2015 to officially name the area as a walkway, a memorial walkway at Krebs. I should mention also the officers' family is involved with us on making this happen. So we're very proud of this. Last thing I'm going to mention is, and Captain Egan mentioned that, is in 2013, late 13-14, under Valley Bureau, the co-chairs decided to start meeting on a regular basis. Part of the meeting is to share information. Part of the meeting is to bounce ideas off each other and try to become better co-chairs. It's been a great partnership with OVB and Office of Operations CPU on making this happen. Every meeting is we meet every 2 months where the 3 parties join, which is that was one of our key purposes, is communication, to get ongoing communication between Office of Operation, OVB, and down to the CPAB level at the divisions. Another accomplishment under the same umbrella is this year we will be holding the first Valley Summit that will involve the members, CPAB members that are in the Valley. This is, I believe, the first summit at the bureau level that's going to be held across the city. This is another thing that we are very proud of. It's going to be with the support from OVB, with a donation from the Marriott for a place to hold the meeting and including food. So 2014 has been a transition year for us, a philosophical transition year from doing projects to doing projects for the purpose of unity in the community and partnership in the community. This is all for the purpose of building a stronger community and community interactions back and forth between the officers and the civilians. As far as 2015 is concerned, or the goals for 2015, we believe in continuing on what we are doing, and what we would like to see and accomplish is double up our presence, unity and partnership presence in the community.
Great. Questions? I just want to say that, this is community policing partnerships at its best. It's positive, it's proactive, it's working together. And why you weren't invited to the State of the Union is beyond me. Great job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're now on item number 9, public comment period. We have 7 comment cards. We have Ben Fortson, Ted Hayes, Therese Williams, and Michelle X.
Morning, sir.
I have indisputable evidence that Detective Tompkins, Bunn, Wong, Hernandez, Brown, and Ross, working with the City Attorney's Office, Deputy City Attorney Gregory Allen Dorfman, Malika Cole, Alan Simpson Hagan, were all part of a criminal conspiracy of a false, malicious criminal indictment against me. You know it. Violation of Penal Code Section 182. For 3 years, they covered it up. For 2.5 years, they kept it from Internal Affairs. For 2.5, 3 years. Chief Beck, you are an enablement of misconduct and foul play. And you were illegitimate. All of you. You too, Inspector General. Illegitimate. They knew they would get away with it. That's the reason why they did what they did to me. Somebody broke the law. Somebody broke the law. Some individuals broke the law. And the damn sure wasn't me. That's the reason why all criminal charges were dismissed in furtherance of justice, pursuant to 1385A. Because I was not in violation of any laws. Any laws. And those son of a bitches knew it before any actions were ever taken. They knew it. Confederacy conspiracy. And I got indisputable evidence, adjudicative, self-authenticating, conclusive evidence to prove it. I can prove it to any one of you. I'll sit down with you right now, and I'll prove it to you in 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
Ted Hayes.
Chief, I didn't see you come in. Welcome to the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. Hayes? Sir?
I mentioned the fact you marched in a parade yesterday. You go all the way?
He was very complimentary.
About complaining, that gentleman, to me, was very convincing. Very convincing. Not because of his enthusiasm and energy, but because these things do happen. And let's look at it this way. I try to convince the people that they should be talking about Jackie Lacey, and she's the one who can indict, who can move against people without your help or the chief's help. She won't do anything. She conducts, if you want to file a complaint against anyone, a city councilman, your neighbor, anybody, you go to the 17th floor and you have an interview on a bench in the hallway. Okay? A guy comes out with a clipboard and he interviews you about your rape, your assault, whatever, in the hallway. If you want to complain about somebody with the LAPD, go to Internal Affairs, it's done in the hallway, next to a statue of Charlie Chaplin, a comic, because that's the way they look at your complaint. It's comical. They don't take that seriously. No guy with a clipboard in a hallway is taking your complaint seriously. No tape recording, no glass with a camera behind it, none of that. Because they don't take it seriously. It's inconsequential. They're not going to do anything. So when you examine the way Jackie Lacey and the police department conduct their interviews on complaints, the story is very evident. You don't need to hold up a bag. It's right there. Try to file a complaint with Lacey or the police department. You get the same circumstance, the same environment, the same outcome.
Therese Williams.
Welcome, sir.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Teru Williams. I'm from West California. I was shot in my back by the police, and I would like to put the police department on notice that Officers Coughlin and Reyes, put trumped up charges on me. Back in June 2006, June 10, 2006, I was shot in my back by the police. I'd like to talk to Jackie Lacey. I'd like to talk to Inspector General. I'd like to talk to Internal Affairs and anybody else that will hear me. Because of time, what do you call it? Statute of limitations. I still, like I said, I have an open case. Like I said, I have evidence that, it was a lot of wrongdoing. I was charged for attempted murder on the police when the police attempted murder on me. So I'm just, with all this stuff going on in the air with Ezell Ford being shot in his back and a couple of other guys being shot something has to be done with police brutality, and something has to be done with the oversight of the police, because obviously somebody has to police the police. Something has to be done. I don't want more innocent people to get shot in their back for any reason. That just shouldn't happen, especially if he's unarmed. If a person's unarmed, we have to have better cops. If a person's unarmed, why does he end up shot? It doesn't even make any sense. Maybe we need better cops. I don't know, but I'm sure to talk to somebody. I hope anybody could talk to me. Please, I'm open for conversation for sure. Enjoy your day.
Thank you, sir.
Michelle X, followed by Jose Gallegos and Tanisha Denard.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Michelle Watson. I'm from Youth Justice Coalition. And today I'm here to urge LAPD to be transparent with the community about the 1033 program and exactly what weapons they are receiving from the 1033 program and exactly who the person is requesting these weapons from the Pentagon. With the newly created Community Oversight Commission, this information is critical to the development of police and community relations. The South LA community fears calling the police and even engaging with them for the multitudes of weapons that they carry that help fuel the fire. So please stop the 1033 program or release the information that you have concerning the 1033 program. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jose Gallegos from the Youth Justice Coalition, and excuse my voice, a little hoarse from being up from 8:30 to 4:30 screaming for justice at the MLK parade yesterday. And I'm here because, first of all, it's funny. As we were going through the metal detectors right now, Officer Martinez at the front desk assumed that the little baby that was in here right now, Brandy's baby, was a boy. He said, I didn't even look. I just assumed. I didn't respond to nothing, but in my head, that's the problem out here. Too many assumptions. President, I know you said instead of meeting with you by myself that you will meet with me, but it wouldn't be fair to my comrades from the Youth Justice Coalition if they can please stand up, because it's not just me coming here by myself every week on Tuesday trying to meet with you. It's as a whole, as a collective, us, the youth from the Youth Justice Coalition, to meet with you. I don't know if you, Chief, will be open to sit down at the Youth Justice Coalition and meet with us. If I can get a response or something like that,
We can't respond during public comment.
Okay.
See afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
Tanisha Denard, followed by Dwayne Smith and Alani.
Good morning, Commission. My name's Tanisha. I'm with the Youth Justice Coalition, and I'm here to urge you guys for all the demands we'll be coming for every Tuesday. The same reason why people were sleeping outside and everything else, and also to be transparent on the on what Michelle was talking about. And I will also urge you guys to really put some effort into our oversight, because it's now, last time we came, it wasn't 605. But since we've been coming here and sleeping here, there's still people getting killed. So there clearly needs to be something done. We're now at 605 people that have been killed by law enforcement in LA County, and something really needs to stop here. It doesn't make any sense at all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Sir.
Hey, how you doing? Good morning. I was going through the LAPD equipment, and I see a lot of non-lethal weapons. Well, the Taser X26, the barricade, penetrating projectile liquid. You guys know what you have. I even seen you guys have motocross Kawasaki's. And I was kind of like, where did that come from? Where did, I asked the guy, St. Martinez, he was like, yeah, they're expensive. And I was like, yeah, I bet. So I urge you to take 1% of the budget to go towards the community. So for more community centers, more counselors, paid outreach workers that can actually talk to us to be more preventative than reactive. I go on the list. I seen pole cameras, tactical lasers. Man, you guys got like a lot of equipment. I want you to can you eliminate the use of military equipment if that can happen? So I urge you, or my ask is to can you eliminate the military weapons, and can you donate 1% to the community for community centers? And if that's a conversation that you're interested in, you can talk to us at Youth Justice Coalition. We can sit down and have a meaningful, conversation and see what we can do with that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Olani.
Welcome.
Good morning. I'm here with the Youth Justice Coalition, but I'm speaking on behalf of the Stop LAPD Spying Coalition. And we are very concerned about the recent community hearings on body cameras. Soboroff, you took notes on people's concerns and questions, and you attempted to answer the questions and not really answering them. I went to the South LA hearing, and it was as if there was one specific question, and we were asking what was going to happen with all the information that's being captured, as we know that you're collecting a lot of other data on us. And so we wanted to know if there's any connections and if you can address that question. And when it came down to it, you gave the question over to the officer that was modeled or demonstrated how the camera works, and it's more an administrative question. So if you can address the community on that. The active role of Commission President Soboroff in advocating and being a cheerleader for LAPD body cameras raises serious questions about the integrity of the process. He was also very clear that the use of body cameras was a foregone conclusion. So why the facade of community hearings? Soboroff clearly has a conflict of interest since he is personally raising private money for body cameras. He should remove himself from any decision making. Furthermore, the coalition provided research and evidence that clearly shows body cameras are not there to protect the cops, are only there to protect the cops and not the public. Thank you.
Thank you. And this concludes our public comment period. We're now in item number 10, closed session. The Board of Police Commissioners will now recess into
Hi, I'm Cindy, and I'm in Little Tokyo, and you're watching Channel 35, Your City, Your Channel.
In November 2012, work commenced on the largest and most ambitious runway maintenance project at Van Nuys Airport in over half a century, a $20.5 million plan to rehabilitate its historic 8,000-foot main runway, 16 right, in just 9 months.